Well, folks, in today's video, we visit Larkspur Line train store in Marrickville, Ontario. This is a train store which I've done some tours of in the past. However, recently one of my friends discovered that the store had acquired a whole bunch of different model train collections. So we decided to go on a bit of a road trip down to Marrickville and find out what it is exactly they had bought, as well as check out the store to see if they had anything new in stock. The store usually does have some turnover, so it's always a great place to visit, and we were really excited to see what exactly could be in those boxes, because nobody had sorted through them, which meant the possibilities were endless. So as per usual, we started off in the consignment section, and they did have some new things here. They had a whole bunch of Canadian National passenger cars from Tyco, tons of different pieces of rolling stock, and a lot of this stuff is not particularly special, but it's always a good idea to have a look, because once in a while you'll find something that was kit bashed for only like $4, so I always love going through this section. In this case, we found this really odd bobber caboose for $4. This was clearly somebody's project, pretty odd piece of equipment, but I was happy to see it. They also had a pretty unusual locomotive in this section. It's an old Hornby Triang, and it has all plastic wheels, but it's still a powered model. It uses these contact shoes on the bottom to pick up power, and I've never seen that before on a DC locomotive. There wasn't really too many other unusual things in the consignment section on this visit. They did have this Tyco locomotive for $5, but that was about all I was interested in, so we moved on towards the store's higher end locomotives. Their display case didn't really have anything new, so we made our way towards the area where they have a lot of the new in-box locomotives, and they actually had quite a bit of selection here. As you can see, they had many releases from Rapido, they had some Kato stuff, they had this Walters Trainline locomotive, which was nice to see, and they actually had a couple new in the box Bachmann locomotives from probably about the 90s. Looking through this, I also ended up finding a Varney kit, which I was not expecting to see. I don't know anything about this particular locomotive, but it looked like everything was there, so that could make for a fun project. And then it was time to move on to the actual boxes themselves. The first box we opened up just had a whole bunch of old Tyco kits. A lot of these look to be in great shape. We also found another Varney kit, which looks identical to the other one we saw. And then all of a sudden we found a whole bunch of Hornby stuff. This was something that is really unusual to find up here in Canada. There was this train set which looked super high-end. Just look at all the different things this set comes with. Now, something that I should point out is that all the footage you've seen up until this point was actually taken from a first-of-its-kind live tour we did at the store. So after that live stream was over, we took some things we had found up to the cache for pricing, and then went back to the boxes for a second look and ended up finding a whole bunch of different things which we had missed the first time around. So here's some footage from that.
William Shakespeare. It's a cool looking locomotive, but it's sort of looks like what I'm looking for, but it is not what I'm looking for. Coaches. I have high hopes for this stuff though, because like, I think underneath here is another steam engine.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Another one like that. LMS stuff, so perhaps LMS steam locomotive.
Oh, that's German.
Oh man. Oh well, it's still nice.
Yeah, it's something.
Oh, this is one unit.
Oh, it's a British diesel. I think it's a Deltic.
Oh, drum roll please.
I don't know what it is. I wish I could say I don't know a whole lot about the British stuff, but it does look nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh.
City of Birmingham.
City of Birmingham. It's, I think, is it Duchess class? Or is it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Looks very nice, though. Goodness gracious.
I got something from Rocco.
Oh.
German diesel.
There you go. More Rocco.
Hope it's another engine. Yeah.
Some coaches. More rolling stock. Stuff's green. Oh, this is heavy. Oh,
That is part of a Bachmann DCC steam engine, I believe.
Looks about right.
Texas Chugger, I think it's called.
Oh, this is heavy. This looks to be
Maybe
it.
that's the engine. See, it's so funny, eh? An American steam locomotive mixed in with the other ones there.
Yeah.
This must have been part of quite the collection. This looks to be in terrific shape.
Yeah. There you go.
Very nice. This one could be sound equipped too.
Ooh. That we'll have to confirm.
It's definitely
with Jeff.
DCC.
Well, it's got the pin stuff
Yeah,
here, right?
that's why I'm thinking. Another engine?
Oh, yeah.
This looks exciting.
Drum roll, please. Oh, of the North. Oh, wow. I don't know what that is. I think these are Castle class. This one's called Alberta. Yeah.
Yeah, is there one more there?
Oh, yeah, there is. I'm disappointed in this person because they don't have. Oh, LMS. Oh. Oh. This is the Flying Scotsman set. Oh my gosh.
Wow, look at
Because,
that.
like, here's the thing, right? Or, I don't think it's the Flying Scotsman set, but when Flying Scotsman went to the US, I watched a video on this by The Unlucky Tug, so, like, go watch that. But, they had a whole excursion in the States, and they brought a set of cars, and there was an observation car that looked just like this. It was awesome. It's a mail car. This is the Garbo stuff that we went through earlier.
So by this point we had been through almost all the boxes, but we found this one which had a whole bunch of partially assembled locomotives in bags, many of which were brass or die cast, and I'm sure would make for terrific projects. But there was one more box we really wanted to go through, mainly because what was written on the top. So we opened it up, and lo and behold, it did not disappoint. There were tons of vintage, kit-bashed pieces of rolling stock, mostly from Europe. But the main goal here was to get to the bottom and figure out what exactly those locomotives were.
Oh wow, look at those passenger cars.
Yeah.
That's like vintage.
Beautiful.
Oh, wow,
there
look at
does
that.
appear to be engines at the bottom.
It's like the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, it is. More North American stuff.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, autoloaders. Various cars. Wow, those are some pretty unusual looking engines. Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Brass. No idea where these would be from. Haven't seen anything quite like it, to
Like
be honest.
Swiss? Not even.
Made in Austria. Lilliput. That's a name you don't hear around here too often. Huh. Try to have a look at what's on the other side. I think it's more German stuff. So there weren't any locomotives in this box I was personally interested in buying, but I did make some purchases, so we'll head back home and I'll show you all what I decided to get. So I'm now obviously back home, and here is my haul. I can't say this one disappointed. I think it's probably one of the best hauls I've ever done at Larkspur, and I mean, if you've seen some of my previous videos, there have been some great ones in the past. So let's get started. We'll begin with what I'd probably consider to be the less exciting things, and we'll move our way up. So starting off in this box is it's the caboose. Now, this is not a terrific piece of equipment by any means. It's so strange. Whoever put this thing together actually did a good job shortening it. You know, you can't really see the seams here. All that's really evident is where they cut the roof. I just thought it was cool, and I have a project that's coming up in the future which I thought this would be an interesting part of. So there's that. Very random, but I just decided to buy it. And the other thing I decided to buy was the Hornby Triang locomotive. This was just too unusual to pass up. I've never seen this before, And I always like learning new things about different models and when they came out. I'm guessing this one's probably from about the 1960s. So this should make a fun project if it doesn't run. I'm guessing it's not going to run that well, but in any case, there is that. Now, they had a few locomotives in really rough condition. So I bought this locomotive right here. I think it's a 260. It's partially made of brass as far as I know. And I think he wanted something like 25 bucks for it, which really didn't seem like too bad a price. It's obviously it's in really bad condition, but that should make a pretty fun project. So I bought that. And that's not the only kind of unusual locomotive I bought. I bought this engine right here, which is die cast. It's Canadian Pacific. I could be mistaken, but I think I might have seen the actual version of this locomotive while I was in Montreal. Again, don't quote me on that. I could be mistaken. But yeah, this is also in really rough shape, but with some work we might be able to get it running. So I bought that. And then this is one of the things which to a lot of you might not seem like the most exciting, but for some reason I was just really happy to find these. They had this bin of all this old equipment, and inside they had all these European pieces of freight equipment, and all of this stuff was kit bashed as far as I can tell. It's got brass parts on the outside, but the frame is made out of wood. And yeah, I bought 5 of those, and they're all slightly different. And I don't really have anything quite like this. So just some really unique 1950s foreign pieces of equipment. It all just looked really cool. And another thing that I thought was quite interesting about it is that the couplers have this system where they actually are connected together using a spring. So most systems, you know, they have like whiskers on the couplers, and that keeps the coupler centered as it goes around corners. But in this case, this actually pulls the coupler straight in. So I don't know if these are going to need any work, but I figured I could haul them with my Swedish steam locomotive, and I think they would look quite beautiful doing that. And it's just, again, they've got so much character to them. You just do not see this kind of stuff anymore. So yeah, there is my haul from Larkspur Line. Now, why don't we test all this stuff out? We'll see if any of these engines even run. We'll figure out what we're working with, and we're definitely going to run this train with my Swedish steam locomotive. All right, so we've got all of our locomotives here. I think we're going to start with that one right there. I'm really curious to see what this thing is going to do. I mean, I honestly don't have a clue. It says right here that the motor is okay, so I don't know if that means that the gears are stripped out, but we'll find out soon enough, I'll tell you that. Huh? Okay. So this thing does seem to want to run. The only problem that I see with it is that it's double O gauge, so the flanges are too big for my Code 100 track. I'm pretty sure I do have some double O tracks, so maybe one day we'll try to set that up and run it with that, but I think even besides that, it's going to need some maintenance, because there were times when these were both making contact with the rails and it still wasn't running right. So it's a little off, but like I said, it's something unusual. I really just wanted to get it just to see what it was all about. And it didn't disappoint from that standpoint. I guess we'll move on to this thing. I got it set up on the track. I noticed something too, which is that it's an Atlas. I didn't even know Atlas made these sorts of engines, but Atlases are known for being very reliable, so lo and behold, it runs. It's going to need some cosmetic work, but honestly, just from a running standpoint, I don't even think I need to really do a whole lot on this. Well, that's nice. And now we've got this. I don't even know what to say about it. Yeah, it actually doesn't look half bad. It's not seized from what I can tell. So we'll put it on the track. It's probably going to need a wire, though. Go up here and, oh, okay, no, didn't like that. Oh, okay, I see what's going on here. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, that's got tons of life in it. And now it's time to run all of this stuff with my Swedish steam locomotive. I can't wait to see it, honestly. Well, I don't really know what to say here, folks, other than that I think that this train looks pretty rockin'. The locomotive almost looks like it's meant to be pulling these cars, and I know it's a Swedish locomotive with German cars, but still, it looks fantastic. Anyways, without further ado, let's give this thing some power and see it go around the layout here. Yeah, very nice. They roll quite nicely too, completely quiet. I gotta say, it's really nice seeing the Swedish locomotive pulling something other than passenger cars around. I mean, obviously, it's meant to be hauling the HCW train that I made for it, but this is definitely a nice alternative, and I'd be more than happy to run this train at like a train show or maybe at my model train club. I don't know, I think it just looks fantastic, but overall, I'm just thrilled with this new collection of cars, and I'm glad that this thing could even go on the back. Well, folks, I think that's going to be about it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I certainly had a good time going through all those boxes, and I'm thrilled with what I was able to buy. And you know, just spending some time at the train store with a friend is always good, so that was nice too. I'd also like to give a big thanks to the people at Larkspur for letting us host a live stream at the store. They were super chill about that, so I gotta give credit where credit is due. But anyways, with that, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching.